Welcome back. Elections 2019. 27 days to go until South Africa goes to the polls. Are you still undecided? Do you know who you're voting for? What is the party that is talking to you, that is not only highlighting the problems in South Africa, because we all know what the problems are, but how is your political party going to fix what matters to you the most? So that's what we're doing here today in Port Elizabeth, the Eastern Cape. This is leg one of our two-part leg on the Eastern Cape. So this chance we're focusing particularly on northern areas, the Nelson Mandela Bay municipality, and we're moving next week to Kolobeni, that also part of the Eastern Cape. That should be a very, very interesting one. Other political parties will be represented there. We've got 8 parties here. We've got a lot of people that want to speak to them. So I'm going to hand it over to the floor. One question. Direct your question to one of the political parties. That's all I'm giving you, so we can get as many questions as possible. Sir, introduce yourself first, and what is your question?
My name is Eddie Alexander. I'm the Mount Road Cluster chairperson of the Community Police Forum. My question is, I want people to understand that the space that we are in is gangsterism. And you know, pre-2016, there were promises made. My question is to all political parties. There were promises made that Metro Police will deal with gangsterism in the area. I want people to come and say to the people of the northern areas that are dying here. I'm not at a good space now. That are dying here. We had 2 deaths yesterday alone in this area, and promises. We cannot deal with promises. We want political parties even to join the CPFs because they are supposed to be on the CPFs. Thank you.
Okay. Gangsterism, major issue. I'm going to come to you now. Sorry, sir, who would you like to address that question? ANC?
Let me say the ANC and the DA. Let them do that.
ANC and DA. So please, ANC and DA, I'm going to come to you now. Let's just get our next question coming through. If I'm not mistaken, this is Fraser from the Khoisan representing here.
Kaikwas, Konkia, Dumelang, Molweni, Goeiemôre, good morning. Tita ge a, gou gouap, kai anip, kai ke a, kankans, Aitsamamire. I was asking my question in my language, but there's no response. Do we need a translator here? I'm just asking. I'm asking a question in my own language. Will I get the response? So I'm forced to ask a question in English. It's all right. We all know in 2016, we had the issue where the Democratic Alliance used the northern area's problem of gangsterism as a campaign. I was in that meeting when Musi Maimane said the Metro Police will be employed to get rid of gangsterism. The next day, when Metro Police was introduced, Metro Police give out fines in Stanford Road for the violation of a traffic offense. They never gave fines to gangsters who are violating the right to freedom, the right to movement, and the right to live since the implementation in 2016. But that's not the question. Here's my question. The Constitution allows expropriation, but with compensation. The Democratic Alliance said yes all these years. For 25 years they said yes for expropriation without compensation. Here the ANC comes up, expropriation without compensation, and now they're making a noise. When you make a noise because of the crime that was committed against the Khoi and the San, the position we find ourselves in is because of land that was taken away from us. Our fathers was killed, mothers were raped, and the children were used as slaves. Today we have no land. My question to the Democratic Alliance is, what is your stance with expropriation without compensation?
All right, let's get to some answers. I'll come to you next. Let's start with gangsterism. Tony, talk to gangsterism in this area. 2 people being killed just alone yesterday. Can you hear? Were you able to hear? Okay, so talk to gangsterism in the area. How are we going to bring? There have been calls to bring the military into this area. It's that bad. It just seems to be getting worse. Talk to that.
Yeah, thank you very much, Leanne, and thanks to the person who posed the question. The reality of the matter, let's start with the issue that was raised here before. You know, just down the road, you have Battlestop, you have Blumandal, you have Chete. A lot of houses have been built over the past 25 years, so people must not come here and lie. On the issue of gangsterism, let's go to the issue of gangsterism.
Tony, I don't want you talking to what you've done. I want you to talk to what you haven't done. Crime. People are dying here daily. That was the question. We're not talking about housing yet. We'll get to housing. Crime. People are dying. What are you doing about that?
Leanne, I had to respond because it was raised here on stage, and we must put things into perspective. On the issue of gangsterism, here, currently there is a lockdown, you know, where there is a police with the CPF. I think the leader of the CPF is part of that program, where they are working with the provincial commissioner, with the national commissioner, to ensure that there is stability in the area. In this area where we are currently, there were 2 notorious streets. You will see nyalas around here. There are programs that are taking place where you have celebrities, Labo Makayantini, that they have actually been brought into this place to ensure that people are no longer afraid. Children can go out now, but that can only go through the working between the community and the people and the police, and it is working, Leanne. So it's not like something is not being done by the national commissioner or by the Minister of Police. Bekele was here. Where's was here, and something is being done working with the Community Police Forum.
Okay. All right, let's get the DA. So gangsterism also to be addressed, and land.
Sure. Thank you, Leanne, and thank you to the member from the Community Police Forum. I'm very pleased that the question was posed to the DA and the ANC, because the issue around crime is both a provincial, national and local responsibility. So the ANC government at a national level, provincial level, and also the DA at a local level have a responsibility to combat crime. So there have been a number of successive police ministers that have come to Nelson Mandela Bay to promise an additional police station. We as a city have allocated a piece of land to the South African Police Services. That police station has never materialized. So our police are outnumbered against gangsters in the city, and it's a known fact for many years, and nothing's been done about it. The special police units have been done away with. So we've got gangsters that are operating against police people who are not properly trained to deal with the gangsters. But what did we do? When we were in government, we established the first Metro Police Service in the city. We opened 2 precincts, one in KwaZulu, KwaNobuhle, and one here in Chete. So we introduced Metro Police into this area. We also introduced a crime combating initiative called Shot Spotter, where every time a shot is fired in this community, there is an immediate response. The incidence of shooting came down dramatically, but that Shot Spotter has not been continued under the new administration. So they are left to their own devices in this community. But Leanne, unless we do something about employment and jobs for our young people, we are never going to combat violence in our communities.
Okay, Ethel, we're going to leave it there for now. I'm going to come back straight afterwards into land. We have to take an ad break. So when you come back, we're going to be talking to the question about land. We're going to get more questions and also language. The Khoisan wanting to be represented, they're here again. We'll speak to all of this and more. We need to take a break. We'll be with you after this. Nelson Mandela Bay, Port Elizabeth, the Eastern Cape. We're with you today.